Hi everyone, this is Unit 3. What does that mean? New background, new shirt. This unit is called Jesus the Compassionate Savior, and it explores who Jesus is from the perspective of Luke. But before we go any further, what I want you to do in a second is click pause and read the first chapter. And as you read the first chapter, I want you to pay attention to the faiths of Elizabeth, Zechariah, and Mary. Click pause now. We're back! Okay, wasn't that a riveting first chapter of the Gospel of Luke? So who are these people? Zechariah is the father of John the Baptist and the husband of Elizabeth. He becomes mute for questioning the angel Gabriel. Elizabeth, of course, is his wife and the mother of John the Baptist and supposedly the cousin of Mary, despite the age differences. Mary, of course, is referring to the Virgin Mother of Jesus, and this is the first time we meet her in the Gospel stories. Mark only mentioned her one time. So right off the bat, you can see Luke is giving us a different type of story. A backstory, if you will, of not only Jesus, but of his parents too, and his cousin. So I asked you to pay attention to the faith of these three people. Zechariah, of course, is an old man and a priest, and he questions Gabriel, how on earth can we be new parents? It's the same type of question Mary asks, but Mary doesn't end up cursed because of it. Why do you think this is? Zechariah is a priest. Zechariah is an older man. He should have known better.
You should have known better than to doubt me.
Mary is somewhere between the ages of 12 and 14. I think she's more 12 than 14, but whatever. I think she earns the right to ask questions, not to mention Zechariah is with a wife and he kind of knows how babies are born, whereas Mary has more of a legitimate question of how can this be possible?
Impossible. Impossible.
Both Zechariah and Elizabeth were holy people in the eyes of God, and that's why they were chosen to be the parents of John the Baptist. I love the way the angel approaches Mary. He says, "Greetings, favored one."
Greetings.
Who talks like that? Well, maybe angels do. And he says, "Peace be with you." And she's like, "And with your spirit." You can see that there is absolutely no messianic secret in Luke's gospel. Mark was all about keeping Jesus' identity as of Messiah a secret. In the first chapter alone, Luke is telling all kinds of people, even before the conception. We don't know too much about Elizabeth. She's an older woman, obviously a barren woman. And that's actually quite significant because there are a lot of barren women in the Hebrew scriptures that God chooses. One reason why God chooses these people is that society has labeled the barren women as essentially sinners. You know, you're barren because you deserved it. There is no such thing as innocent suffering. You sin, there's consequence. So you're in this situation because of something you did. And the sole purpose of women during biblical times, Old and New Testament, was to produce babies. So if you are a barren woman, you are a useless woman. Elizabeth had to deal with this stigma her entire life. Not only does she have to deal with the grief of not being able to produce a child with Zechariah, but she has to deal with society's labels. You are a sinner. You are useless. So we don't see a whole lot of Elizabeth in chapter 1 there or in the rest of the Bible, but when she is described, she's described as a woman of great joy. And that makes sense.